Hey, Professor Kraus. This will be my presentation of the health video that I promised to you at the beginning of the semester, which is going to be rice, beans, and a little recipe that my dad uses at his house. So here we already have the rice already cooking, the rice cooker. I use depends on the type of the amount of people that are coming, but since it's me that's only eating, I use 1.5 cup of rice, and then into that you put 1/4 of a cup of oil and salt, and you give it a good mix. Oh, and don't forget to wash your rice. Give it a good mix. Just click the button down and let the rice begin to cook. Over here, we already have the beans already cooking. We already have the beans cooking. Let me lower a little bit heat. The beans are already been cooking. The beans is 1/4 of a cup of oil. You use a little bit of sazon Goya and 1 cube of caldo de pollo, which is, you guys know it, Nor. And you give it a good stir. Oh, and the most important ingredient, which is tomato paste. I forgot that. I finished right now and I already threw it away. But it's tomato paste. You give that, and then you pour the beans in. You give it a good stir, and then you put it on medium or high, and you give it a stir in between times, just so it doesn't stick. And don't forget to put water. You can put water at the level that you want. It doesn't matter. But after that, over here, we turn on get the pan nice and hot. Pour in 1/4 of a cup of oil. Over here, we season. It is shown that pre-seasoned chicken it absorbs the seasonings better, and the chicken inside gets all the flavors inside of it. So this has been sitting out well seasoned for now 14-15 minutes. Basically, what my dad puts in, he uses Thai peanut paste which has soy sauce, creamy peanut butter, fresh ginger, and garlic. He uses a little bit of pepper, slightly little bit, like 2 pinches of buttery steakhouse, dry rub, and I think this is what gives it the nutrition good part. It's Little House, which is just fresh basil. Well, not fresh, but freeze dried basil. You give that a good whisk, and right there you already have your seasoning. It's according to a source that I'm gonna put inside the link. The 3 sources I'm gonna send it to you. First, over here, beans. This has been proven that it lowers your heart. It helps with your heart health and lowers the chances of you getting cancer. With beans, it just lowers your cholesterol, and it has fibers in it. And for chicken breast, this is just for people that want to build lean muscle. It's good for them, since you can cut it up. One thing I recommend about chicken breast is that you cut it up into thin slices, so that the cooking process will go quicker and a little bit faster. Here, the beans are almost ready. Depending on how the beans look, you could put any amount of water that you want. Just do not. The main thing about beans is that do not let it get dry, because if not, then everything's gonna stick and it's gonna be a horror show. So now our pan is hot, and we get ready to dip the chicken in. And you don't want it on high. You want it on medium, so you can control what you're cooking. Because if not, then it's gonna be really, really bad. It's gonna be cooked on the outside, but not that cooked on the inside. So while we're waiting, rice is almost done. Beans have enough water in them, and the chicken well seasoned, and just check them. And your chicken, you're supposed to flip it. According to my favorite chef, Gordon Ramsay, you're supposed to flip the chicken every single 5 minutes. And then after that, give it a good color and flip it in between so that it has the same amount of coloring on both sides. Corta. Okay, now we're back. It's been another 5 minutes, so we just flip it over. And a trick my dad used to tell me, if you're not sure if the chicken is well cooked, is cooked through, you just take it out and just take it out and cut it. Because cut meat, it cooks way faster than just thin. So you see, it needs a little bit more. It's a little bit more, so you just pop it right back in, just like that. Pop it back in. And now you take the other one and do the same thing over again. Use a little bit more. Give it like 30 seconds or a minute. Put everything back in. Move it around. Now sometimes when I want to like experiment or something, if you want, you can use the same Thai peanut sauce with a little bit of soy sauce and a little bit of teriyaki. But since we're doing this for health purposes, we cannot be using soy sauce in our healthy food. So I'll see you guys back in 30 seconds or a minute and to see how everything's going. Okay, now it's been 30 seconds, so we just give it a little bit of flip around and turn off the heat. So now for the plating part, we just grab, we just grab our spoon. Just take out our rice. Okay, we set this aside. Now we grab our spoon, our big spoon. Grab our big spoon. Our beans are already done. And we just plate. Sometimes people overflow it. You don't want to overflow with beans because you're gonna just be eating a traditional plate that in DR or in PR they call asopao, which is just literally water, which is just like soup and rice, but different way. That's enough. Set aside. That's good. And now we grab our pieces of chicken we're gonna use. That's it right there. You already have everything. But the biggest deal about this is that you cannot go overhand with oil. That's why I use 1/4 of a cup. I don't even use it completely. I just use it halfway, just to get like a good like amount of seasoning like you see around here. I went like a little bit overboard, but it's only a tiny bit overboard, but it's good to not go overboard with the oil, because if it's for health purposes, that will not be good, or you will not be following like a health plan that you're probably taking. So, and do not go overboard with the salt, because salt is a big issue in a couple things. It's better like how my dad used to tells me. If you're gonna cook with salt, pour a little bit, and at the end you taste it. If it needs a little bit more salt, you just pour it in while the heat is going. You mix it around, and then you taste it again to see if it's good and if it needs a little bit more. But other than that, this is rice, beans, and chicken with fresh basil and Thai peanut paste meal. Freshly cooked.